I knew something had shifted the first night he looked at me and said, almost too casually, "Just call a ride. I can't pick you up today." His tone wasn't harsh. That's what hurt the most. It was soft, distant, like someone who had already left long before he walked out the door. And I remember standing outside my workplace, cold wind against my skin, realizing that the man who used to wait for me with headlights on was now the same man telling me to get home alone. That night, something inside me broke, not loudly, quietly, like a door closing without a sound. At first, I believed him. Overtime at work, dead battery, traffic, friends he hadn't seen in a while. I repeated every excuse to myself like a prayer, trying to keep the panic quiet. But the weekends, those were different. He took the car for quick errands and came back long after midnight, smelling like noise, like places he didn't want me to know. He stopped calling to ask when my shift ended, stopped texting I'm outside, stopped showing up. And every time I asked why, he said the same words, sharp as glass: "I'm busy." Don't make this a big deal. But the truth? I missed the man who once fought traffic just to see me 5 minutes earlier. I missed the man who used to wait in the car with music on low volume, smiling when he saw me walking out. Now he was a stranger who owned the car, but no longer the responsibility of loving me. I began to notice the patterns. Fridays disappeared. Saturdays became a blur of silence. Sundays ended in excuses. And each time I asked where he was, he'd snap. "Why does it matter? Just take a ride home." That sentence broke me slowly. Just take a ride home. As if I were a package waiting on a curb. As if my safety didn't matter. As if my presence wasn't worth the drive. His friends became his weekends. His drinks became his priority. And I became the afterthought. One night, standing outside work again, the street empty and dim, I realized fear had become my new routine. Fear of waiting, fear of needing him, fear of being disappointed again. And that fear settled in my bones like cold rain. When I finally asked him why he didn't want to pick me up anymore, he didn't even look at me. "You're overreacting. I'm just out with the guys. Don't make everything about you." That was the moment the truth hit me. It wasn't about the car. It was about the distance he was creating, mile by emotional mile. I tried to stay calm, tried to understand, but a part of me already knew. People don't stop doing something they always did unless they're somewhere they shouldn't be, or with someone they shouldn't be with. And right there, while he was scrolling through his phone and pretending not to hear my breaking voice, something inside me whispered, "If you're going through this too, you need to hear this story." A quiet reminder that none of us deserve to beg for basic care. If you're listening now, consider subscribing. Because stories like this matter, and you shouldn't face them alone. The next weekend, he left earlier than usual. No explanation, no goodbye kiss. Just the sound of the door closing like a final sentence. And I sat there, staring at the clock, realizing I had built my routine around someone who no longer considered me part of his. That night, when midnight passed and he still wasn't home, I understood something painful. It wasn't that he couldn't pick me up. It was that he didn't want to. He walked in at 2 a.m., smelling of alcohol and places I wasn't invited to. I asked softly, "Why didn't you come back when you said you would?" He shrugged. Lost track of time. As if the hours I spent waiting didn't exist. As if my feelings were something he could step over. The truth settled in slowly, painfully. I wasn't losing him. I had already lost him and was just now catching up to the reality. But something unexpected happened inside me. The more he distanced himself, the more I began to see clearly. The silence he gave me became the space I needed to understand the truth. And the truth was simple, sharp, and terrifying. I deserved someone who would show up, someone who would care, someone who wouldn't leave me standing alone in the dark. The car wasn't the problem. The Uber wasn't the problem. The weekends weren't the problem. It was the respect, the love, the effort, all slowly disappearing piece by piece. I started to rebuild myself quietly, not through anger, not through screaming, but through understanding what I would no longer accept. And if you're still here with me, hear this. You are not asking for too much. Wanting presence, effort, and care is not a burden. You deserve someone who shows up, someone who stays, someone who remembers that love is proven in the small routines. And if life has left you feeling replaced, forgotten, or pushed aside, breathe. You are stronger than the silence they give you, more powerful than the excuses they throw at you, and you are never, ever alone. I'm here with you, and you are part of something bigger now.